Yo, what up? It's your boy, back at it again for another video. Today I'm gonna do a little quick guide on ways that you can power up your Digimon, since this question has been asked a lot. The first thing I'm gonna go over is just don't forget to use the little Gabumon system to get your account XP and level up your account. Do this every day, all the days, XP matters. Because it is going to determine the max level that your Digimon can get to, right? And leveling up does give you quite a decent amount of stats. Next thing, which I probably should have mentioned earlier, is this affection level down here, the happy face. This is basically the food meter. It increases the Digimon's level cap. The second thing that it increases, besides this is the Digimon level cap, so current level, next level. The second one is the little grape looking things, the green things. It reduces the cost of each level up in a percentage, which it's gonna matter later, but early on it doesn't matter as much. And the last one is chance of helping the trait fusion. From here on, I'm just gonna go from most impactful to least impactful stats, and just gotta start from the worst one. I would some people call these the awakenings, the constellations, the limit breaks, but it's basically the process of whenever you have a Mega Digimon, you can click this button and you have enough evolution items and the Digivolution material, you can upgrade them. When you upgrade them, you also get to roll or some random substats that can be further rerolled. And yeah, that's a very quick, easy way you can increase your Digimon stats, since every time you do this, they get like one little blue section added to their bar, which then becomes purple. And there's a percentage of base stats that scales on your Digimon. So as you can see, my Digimon is like +5, right? I added 5 steps of this upgrade, so it asks for more materials. I'm gonna put a list of the materials as you go here. And it's giving 900% of the base stats of the Wargreymon, and that's most of where its power comes from. I would say that largely the thing that impacts the most, since it is a percentage increase on everything, right? So second thing to cover, it's literally the very next one on the list, is the stats. Unfortunately, these aren't rolled, right? You're gonna have to roll them for one Digimon and see if you get good ones. But one thing you can do in this game is use the little button down here on this system, and then just select a different Digimon and transfer their set of stats over to your other Digimon. So you have to keep an eye out for like which Digimons are the best ones they've been pulling, save the good ones, and remember to transfer the stats over. If you're getting an increase, right? I would say later in the game, everything that's percentage based is better, but earlier on, the flat bonuses are gonna be your go-to. I would say that around level 50 or so, the dynamic kind of changes, but this one is probably the best one, which is 20% of attack. For most Digimons, that does the trick. After that, we go a little bit off script, and the next most impactful thing is the little medals for the skills, which you can use this button here on the bottom right to level them up. And from levels 1 to 10, the levels they're gonna increase stats. So the first one is HP, second one is attack, third one is defense. Of course, attack and HP just make your big number go up. And when you have them above a certain level, like at level 10, you can equip the highest rarity, which does change your skills. But not only that, it also gives you a decent chunk of stats when you equip it. I would say this is very case by case, because it depends on the build you're trying to make. But equipping ones that help your skills are generally good bonus, like a good power bonus and a good way to make your Digimon more useful, since some bonuses, especially the ones that are in the A section, they tend to stack. If you do not have this system unlocked, it is very important to know. Just keep playing through the story, eventually you get there. Like, all of these here will be available to you if you just, keep pushing through. After that, the next more impactful system would have to be this one. Basically, each Digimon has 2 domains, and you can feed them, and it increases the stats they're gonna be passed on to the Digimon. The amount of stats that you actually gain from this will depend on like the level. Whenever you reach a level like from 9 to 10, for example, you need to feed the Jello, and you can get this Jello item for your weekly currencies. It can be found right here. So one thing to note about the domain system here that is very important is that eventually you unlock this little button here, and it allows you to open the list of synergies, which you can check specific bonus for having the Digimons of that type. And using this system, you can basically just click and select your other Digimons and their domains, and just make like bonuses for your stats or things your Digimon does, depending on their own domains, right? It's a very, well, I wouldn't say it's a complicated system, since you only have to like match the pictures and you get the buffs, but you do have to translate each one and see on each Digimon case by case which buffs will be the best, since each Digimon does have its own like series of domains, right? These upgrade from the limit breaks, so +2, +3, +4, +5, right? But I wouldn't worry about this too much, like just the first 2, because it does depend on like how many more Digimon you have, so this one will be another one of those features that like the longer you play, the more it's gonna matter or not. But in general, just leveling these up is just gonna give you a ton of raw stats, so I would always say do it whenever you can, especially if it's a Digimon you're gonna use. After that, there's some other things that are, from here on, just like less impactful upgrades, like equipment sets. I would generally say that the strength set is good for like most attacking Digimon, but there's some Digimon that have like defense scalings or speed scalings, and you're gonna have to go through like the set lists. But if you don't feel like it, the game also has updated this little book function, and they do have set suggestions. May not always be the best, but it is a suggestion that like if you're not sure, you can follow. And not only that, I would highly suggest to you here at this point only like focus more on investing in equipment that's like 5, 6, or 7 whenever you unlock that, because the 3s and 4s you're largely not gonna just stick with them for too long, especially since once you start doing co-op bosses, you just get the 5 and up tier, very common every week. Moving on from equipment, that only leaves the skill trees and the traits. The skill trees are a little bit easier, and every little one of these nodes that has the arrow pointing up gives you stats, as you can see on the screen every time I click on one, different stats, just for unlocking the node. And once trees unlocked, you also get these, which use the crystals, and the prism-like crystals, they are used to increase very, like, honestly, surprisingly OP things. The first one is, I believe, damage dealt. The second one is damage received. It's a percentage increase for damage dealt, decrease for damage received. And the other 2 are accuracy and resistance, I believe. And yeah, like this will be like the highest extreme of stat gains. I would only do this in the Digimons that you really plan on using, but it is something you can do. And lastly, the traits. I would say to take your time with these, unlock them as you go. Don't try to focus too much on like filling the board for everyone really quick, because it does consume your resources, and sometimes event missions ask you to do this like once a day. Just, interact with the system. there's a special guide on traits on how you increase them, but yeah, I would say that like very late game this can be good, but earlier on, and even on me, like where I am, it doesn't feel super worth it to put a lot of resources on the system. Now, once you know all about all of these systems, there's another thing that I would like to cover here, which is very important. And it is the case of, like, what if I was just enjoying upgrading a Digimon, but then I got tired of it and I just want to switch to someone else? There's this very neat feature you can use with any Digimon that is unlocked in your roster. Like, just for example's sake, I'm gonna use it on this Digimon. You see that I'm leveling it up, and it went to level 4. And then I can press here and reset it back to level 1 and get the resources back. Okay. You can do this for free for Champion and Ultimate Digimon, but everything that's Mega and above is gonna cost you 100 of the crystals, the blue crystals, the diamond paid currency, I guess. You could call it that. So it is nice they can do this to like some of your, you know, previously used Digimon, but don't feel like, you know, it is gonna save your life or anything, because it is always just gonna take a cost and just give you some of your resources back. So yeah, with all of that information, that is basically all I know they can do to like get quick power boosts on your Digimon. If there's any questions you guys have or any information that you guys would like to know, please leave it in the comments. Just let me know. And yeah, that's basically it for increasing your Digimon's power in the game. Good luck, and remember, okay, most important advice I can give you. Focus on a few Digimon at a time. Do not try to collect them all. It will not end well. Generally, I would just suggest you like get one of the Digimon from this currency, or save the currency for like a new one that could come later, and get a few from the other currency. I would highly suggest Warriormon, Funimon, Seraphimon, since those are just good free options. But I know that Phoenixmon and Hercules Cavitarymon also see some play very frequently. I think Bikemon and Metal Gurumon do too, but those are for very specific team cases, same as Tiger Vespamon. But yeah, most of the Digimons here are pretty useful, and especially the easier to get ones with this currency are the ones you should go for to main on your team, since they're just easier investment. And that is it. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next guide. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.